Thank you for tuning in to MacroView Television, and this is the Taiwan Outlook, and I'm your host, Raymond Wu. On today's program, we're very happy and delighted to have a special guest all the way from the United States. And you know that the city of Taipei has many sister cities around the world, and Dallas, Texas is one of them. Therefore, we're delighted to have Mr. Natinsky, councilman of the City Council of Dallas, to be our special guest on the program today. Mr. Natinsky, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Raymond. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Yes. Well, we're going to start off with something very big. Let's talk about your home city a little bit, the city of Dallas. I don't know how much our viewers back home have, know about the city or have been to Dallas themselves. But the fact is that a lot of people like myself probably remember Dallas, since we haven't been there yet, remember Dallas from the days in the 1980s on the very popular TV series Dallas. And, also the passion of the people and the welling down natural resources, particularly oil, in around the state of Dallas, the state of Texas. And can you then tell us a little bit about the city of Dallas in terms of its economy, its politics, its culture, and its people?
Oh, you want all that in one quick sentence, right,
Well, I'm
Raymond?
going to do the best we can.
Well, Dallas is an emerging international city,
Yes.
and it's the 8th largest city in the United States.
Yes.
But actually, it's the 4th largest economic region in the United States.
Yeah, Dallas, Fort Worth.
And what I like to ask people is, how can we be the 4th largest economic engine and only the 8th largest city?
Yes.
And
How
the
do you do
answer,
that?
Raymond, is because we work twice as hard as everybody else.
That's a very good answer, yes.
Dallas is it has a can-do spirit that the people have. And we take on many challenges, and we solve our solutions. So it's enabled us to grow from being basically a small town to the 8th largest city in America. But with its central location and a lot of the resources that we've built over the years, such as the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, which is the 3rd largest airport in the world. It started from nothing but grass fields. And now it's bigger than all of New York. So
really?
To give your viewers a sense of the size, it's bigger than Manhattan.
Oh, really?
Just our
That's
airport.
very impressive,
So we like to do things big in Texas.
Yes, we can see.
And being in the central location of the United States, it's a good business location for companies to locate because they can fly out in the morning, they can do business on the East Coast or the West Coast, same day, return home to their family that night.
Yes.
Dallas, though, like many things, has some shortcomings. One of those was water. So we went out and we built lakes for water supply. So now we have a lot of lakes.
So that's not a problem
Not
anymore.
a problem anymore.
Yes.
And the other is that Dallas doesn't have a seaport because it's an inland city. So we have built an inland port, what we call the International Inland Port of Dallas. And how it functions is by teaming up with LA Long Beach and with Houston, which have water. We bring the cargo containers in by rail.
Oh, really?
And then we distribute them. So when you go there, it looks like a huge port facility. The only thing that's missing is the water. So, but there's more. And Dallas has an economy that's very broad.
Yes, very diversified.
Right, and a lot of it is technology related. A lot of it is finance, but a lot of it is just good everyday business. And so, for example, right now with the world financial situation in a somewhat of a crisis, we've suffered very little because of our diverse economy. We're not dependent on any one particular segment of it. But there's more to Dallas than just the work. We work hard, but we also play hard. We have a great arts district. We have the largest arts district in the United States. Everything from opera to theater.
A variety of choices.
A great park system. We are in the middle of building what we call the Trinity Park Project. It's a 10,000-acre park adjacent to downtown. It will be the largest in the United States. And again, to give maybe your viewers a perspective, it's 10 times larger than Central Park in New York.
Oh, gee, you probably can see end to end.
Everything from whitewater rafting to canoeing to lakes to hiking.
Okay.
So
when's that going to be complete?
We hope it would actually complete in about 2014.
Okay.
But parts of it are complete now.
Yeah, you're going to open it up to in stages.
Yeah, it's a $2 billion project, so it takes time to build big projects. But so I think we work very hard and we play very hard.
Yes, and also one thing that we talked about briefly before the program started was the fact that Ron, of course, you're running for re-election this year, and you're saying that in city elections there's no partisan identification.
Right.
You just run as individual candidates. How does that work?
Well, the city government is what we call a mayor. Council manager form of government.
Yes.
So the council is elected.
Yes.
And the mayor is elected. So it's the mayor and 14 council members.
Okay.
Everybody has one vote.
Yeah.
So I have the same vote as the mayor. He has the same vote as me.
Yes.
The magic number is 8.
Yes.
Which is of course a very lucky number in the Chinese culture.
Yes.
But the magic thing is it's a majority.
Yes.
So you have to get 7 of your colleagues together to form a majority to do what you want to do. But we act as the board of directors.
Yes.
And the mayor is like the chairman of the board of directors. But we have a city manager that works for us.
Yes.
And the city manager is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the city.
Yes.
So the 13,000 employees that work for the city of Dallas all work technically for the city manager.
Okay.
The city manager works for us.
Okay.
Now, to separate ourselves from the political ramifications that go on in other elections, we run in what we call a nonpartisan election.
That's
so
terrific.
we are not represented. We don't accept money or anything. So you might say we're neutral.
Yes.
People always try to ask you how you vote, though, in the elections, but it's nonpartisan.
Good.
And it helps to keep everybody involved.
Yeah, everybody united, and also people have less special interest on their shoulders when they're elected. And also talk about the population. How big is the population, and how big is the Taiwanese population in the city of Dallas?
Well, the city of Dallas itself is about almost 380 square miles in size.
Okay.
And the population is about 1.3 million in the core city.
Okay.
But Dallas,
a lot of space.
But Dallas is a unique city in that it has a lot of what we call first ring and second ring and third ring suburbs.
Okay.
So you were out in California.
Yes.
It's very much, you can't tell when Los Angeles starts and Beverly Hills ends, or Van Nuys, or any of it's all come together.
Yes.
So in the area, there's a little over 6 million people in the immediate urban area of Dallas.
Okay.
Right.
And how big is the Taiwanese population?
And I think the Taiwanese population is about 50 to 60,000.
Yeah, that's still quite substantial.
Right. And there's about 250,000 of all different Asian population
background.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. And one thing, Ron, that you just mentioned earlier is because of Dallas's geographic location, it is a perfect transportation hub, in the United States. Certainly we've been, doing some traveling in the past, within the United States, and we know that Dallas is, of course, is a very good, transit point for a lot of the domestic flights. And how is that helping the local economy and certainly making Dallas more visible, as far as business destination or pleasure destination?
Well, having a central location and having good weather is very important.
Yes.
As someone who travels an awful lot, I try not to schedule myself through Chicago in the winter.
No.
Because your chance of being delayed is very good.
Yes.
So we have good weather. We have a central location. It's easy connections. You can be to the East Coast or the West Coast in 3 hours either way. As I mentioned, you can get up in the morning, go to New York, do business, and come home that night.
The same day.
And also for international travelers, by being a huge destination, we have a lot of connections nonstop from Dallas to almost anywhere in the United States, plus into Canada, Mexico, and South America. So it's really, in fact, our airport, the DFW airport, is the 3rd busiest in the world.
Yes.
And it is our largest economic engine to the region.
Yes. And also one other thing I noticed about the Dallas economy is it is actually one of the leading science and technology centers in the U.S. And what kind of incentives does the government, offer to businesses, that are in science and technology to try to move their headquarters, if not already there, to have their business established in Dallas?
Well, it's a combination of, as I said earlier, the ability to work hard and play hard. For example, we recently located the world headquarters of AT&T.
To Dallas.
To Dallas, the largest telecommunications company in the world. And we got them there, obviously, through incentives. We have tax abatements, we have grants and other monetary type incentives.
Exactly.
But we also have the ability to show them that the cost of living for their employees, the cost of operating their businesses is very low as compared to other cities in the United States. So you can take a company that maybe is struggling in California with state income tax and city income tax and all these taxes. We don't have that in Dallas.
Okay, good.
So you can move them from California to Dallas, and immediately their bottom line raises.
Yes, because the living cost is so much lower.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Ron, for that overview of the city of Dallas. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back to the Taiwan Outlook. And we're going to continue this conversation with Ron, and we're going to talk about the sister city relationship between the city of Dallas and Taipei. We'll be right back.